What is going on, everybody? I'm Dr. Luigi, and today we are going to be 3D modeling the UNU 550. It is going to be based on the 1955 Chevy, and this vehicle was sponsored by Ender the Strange, who has sponsored many a vehicle for UNU. So, just gonna jump right into it. I don't think it needs too much introduction. We've got the UNU 650 and 750, which are based on the 56 and 57, so this will round out the collection, which is pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and maybe reduce the music volume a little bit because I'm going to be talking a little quieter today than I'm usually screaming into the microphone. So we'll go ahead and just jump right into it by going into the wrong folder. Now I have started this before, but it actually didn't really go anywhere useful, so I'm just going to kind of start over. I don't really like where it ended up. It was looking too funky, so we're going to do like any other quality UNU product and start with something that we already have. I'm going to start with the 650 and then work my way to the modify it to become a 550. So let's go ahead and start talking about this. This is the quality royalty-free music that is playing. So this is the 550 or 55 Chevy, and these are the different trim levels. So the trim between a Bel Air and a 210. So 55, Tri-5 Chevys, they've got the 150, which is the bottom tier. This is the base trim in UNU. Then there's the 210 series, which would be the super trim in UNU, and I'm doing air quotes with my fingers that you can't see. And then there's the Bel Air, which in UNU is the deluxe. And the only difference between the major apparent difference between the 210 and the Bel Air is this little piece of trim here by the back that kind of separates the body for two-tone paint, and there's a bit of trim in the front here. Personally, I don't like this bit of trim. I think it kind of breaks up. It's a lot of disjointed trim in my non-automotive design opinion. So I'm going to be omitting that piece of trim there. So if we go into here, so yeah, that's going to be this piece here. And so I'm going to be going more along this line where the trim isn't there. Then there are smaller differences, like for example in UNU and in real life as well. The Bel Air has bright work around the windows. The base models do not, so that'll be carrying over. That's just like every other vehicle. And unlike the 750 and 650, the super trim level will not have two-tone paint. So two-tone paint jobs will be exclusive to the deluxe models. And that is because, one, that little piece of trim in the back there is what kind of allows that two-tone paint to work. And it's a better way to differentiate these. Now, in the universe, these three vehicles, the 550, 750, and 650, were released simultaneously. So this is kind of also to make the 550 be more of a base model vehicle in general. So that's kind of the thinking behind that. Cool. It looks like everyone's already chilling in the chat, saying hi, so that's cool. We got Laura, Athena, the good old Canadian guy. So it's going to be a party. Yeah, so that's kind of what we're going into. The main design differences between the 550 and the 650, or reality, the 55 Chevy versus the 56, is going to be mostly the front clip, the rear end. The middle is kind of the same, and that's why they're called the Tri-5s. There's a lot of pieces that are interchangeable, so here you can see the differences between the different body parts. The front is a lot flatter on the 56, and the 55 it's got a smaller grille, whereas the 56 goes all the way across and it's a little more angular. And then a big one is the wheel arches. The wheel arches on a 55 are a lot more conservative, whereas on a 56, they're a little more swoopy. And then, yeah, so that's how we're gonna start. So yeah, that's that. We'll just jump right into it. Start cutting up this 56, turning it into a 55. So yeah, the main differences are gonna be this rear part here, and then front here, and the fender. One thing I actually do want to check is if the trunk length on the 550 and 750 are the same. In real life, they're the same, but I might have made the trunk area longer on the 57 or 750. So check that before we jump into it. I always like doing the sedans. Sedans are my favorite body style. Alright, so yeah, as you can see, the trunk is a little longer on a 650 or on a 750 than a 650. So I will probably make the trunk area even shorter, a little shorter on the 550. So that way it kind of goes along with it. Same thing with the front. The front sticks out a little further on the 750 than the 650. That is true of the 56 and 57 Chevys, and so once again with the 550, just as with the 55 Chevy, I will make it a little shorter in the front clip here. Yeah, center section's largely the same. Cool. All right. One thing, Laura's bringing up the aftermarket, and so right now the trunks between the 750 and 550, between the 750 and 650, the trunks themselves are different lengths. So what I might do is modify the 750 trunk a bit to use the same trunk part. That way they're a little interchangeable. We'll see how that goes. All right. So first things first, I got to delete these wheels to bring in the newer style wheels from Flansmod. So this is going to be a little behind the scenes for Flansmod. So with Flansmod, I actually have the V6 or V5 wheels as part of the texture map, except not, of course, not on this one, because this one is only got modified. There we go. Yeah, so Mild Kyle points out with the 550 being cheaper, police departments will probably prefer it over the 650. That's absolutely true. And so I'm going to be making a military skin for the 550. And yeah, so I'll probably end up making a police variant too. So it depends on if the police department's swaggy and wants to be cool. So yeah, here we have, this is the new wheel, and so most of my models up until now have had the old style wheel, and then I just, in MTS, I put the new wheels on it because they're separate models. From now on, these wheels are going to be built into the quote-unquote base model because it's going into Flansmod. Hopefully I'll get all my stuff ported into Flansmod at some point. It's going to be a minute though before everything's all released. Alright. And one thing I kind of want to do, so you may have noticed it in the newest UNU parts update, but if you pull a wheel into the crafting bench, like on the little preview that it shows, it has a hubcap and tire. And that is because it has a tire model and everything that disappear. What happened here? Interesting. So I kind of want to do that with these vehicles too, since these wheels are part of the texture map for the vehicle. I could, because of Flans mod compatibility and all that. I kind of want to make the wheel part of the vehicle model. That way it shows up nicer in the bench. Get that little bit of UNU quality. Yeah, it looks like there's a texture error here. How strange. I wonder how that happened. Well, I can fix that. Kind of makes me wonder what vehicles have that texture glitch. Alright. Yeah, UNU parts and MTS have more downloads than Flan's core mod on Curse. That's absolutely true. MTS Flan's mod for a long time has been on its own website. And interestingly, let me say count to do all this right. Flan's mod's kind of old-fashioned, and for a long time, wasn't on Curse or anything. It had its own website like the good old days. Alright, file, export. So yeah, Flans mod is old school. Like, for example, it doesn't use OBJ models. It uses its own thing. So, Flans mod, yeah, it's interesting. But it's interesting that it's on Curse. I don't know how you tell Curse to install your mod in not the mods folder, because Flans mod you have to install it in a special folder. So if I ever get my Flans mod content released, then that'll be a fun thing to figure out. Alright. But yeah, Flans mod is definitely like stuck in 2014. Where am I going? Okay, here we go. So right now I'm just updating the texture for the new vehicles, or for the new wheels to be on the model. Again, I say it's for Flans mod compatibility, and I'm sticking to it. Alright, UNU dish. There we go. Alright, and that is what I can delete, but not from the freaking wheel. There we go. Very cool. Alright, got that taken care of. Alright. So now it's time to actually start the model. So that was just kind of some setup stuff. Get the new fancy wheels in there. Now we gotta have some fun chopping everything up. Now, I'll go ahead and open up my old folder here. Kind of show you where I was kind of headed. So this is as far as I got on the old one. As you can see, it started as a 750. That was the first one. And I just was not satisfied with this grill. It looked a little goofy. So I'm going to try and do a better job at making this a little less goofy. So that's kind of where I ended up. Kind of looks more like a checker. And the biggest thing is this grill, right? This is a very 650 grill. Looks nice, looks great as a 650 grill. But I can't just narrow it up, because if you look at the 55, it's kind of taller too. And so it's really like squarer than the 56 grill is. So that's going to be the fun part, and that's where I'm going to start. But it is like a very Let's see if I can find like a. Yeah, it's very flat. That's kind of what gives it that old school shoebox appearance, right? So, um, yeah, and also the hood is a lot more. Kind of got the bigger nose on it, whereas the 56 is okay. So the 56 is a little. The hood line right here is a little wider and a little more modern looking, whereas this is a little more early 50s looking. So I think that'll play a role in that as well. So let's just go ahead and start hacking some fun. Alright. So yeah, Laura's asking when I made that other model. I actually made that one, I think, before I started on the 56. Or sorry, the 650. That's gonna become a thing. I'm gonna be constantly saying the wrong thing. But yeah, I made that model a while ago and just didn't really like how it ended up. So yeah, I'm gonna go a little differently here. So it looks like 4:1. It's a 0.5. All right, I think I can handle that. 4:1. All right. So what I'm doing here is just kind of flattening this out. Removing the little point that is characteristic of the 56. Alright, I'll wait to do that until I actually have the hood more textured. Alright, so I think this is looking a little better already. It's kind of got the wider, flatter look to it, but there's still a little bit of curve out here. So let's go ahead and carry on. So this is 4 wide, so it's perfect, I think. Look at that. It's almost like I planned this. So 2. Just falling right into place. There we go. Alright. So let's go ahead and this little trick with Toolbox to reset the texture without creating the texture from model. And that's this guy right here. New. And then you cancel out. There, boom. Resets it. So now we've got the flatter 56 look, or 55 look going. Looks like I wouldn't want too much on this. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Go to the reference. I think what I'm gonna end up doing, I think this is the cleanest picture. I just want to X out of the cookie thing. Alright, there we go. Now this looks a little taller than the 56 grill. It sticks up above the headlight there. So I think that's what kind of helps give it that height. And yeah, along here it's also flat and then it kind of curves in up here. So I'm going to have to pull the curve out of this. Alright. but keep the curve up here. And that'll also kind of make this front up here a little flatter. So let's see how this can make this happen. Because, yeah, one problem is you kind of end up with this, like, funky deal going on here. This is always the hard part, because you don't want these curves like this, how this like plane is twisted, because it doesn't look good, and it ends up being inconsistent between the sides. It leads to funky lighting. Whereas like with this, it's a little less noticeable, even though it is still there. Okay, the torque thrust rims. I'm going to assume you mean these, which are hubcaps. So you talk about the white one, or so you talk about the white, this guy, or you talk about this blue one. Let me know which one you're talking about, Laura, and I'll send you the picture. All right. The blue one. This guy. Copy image. I'll send it into the aftermarket vendor chat. Bam. All right. Oldborn asks what the options are going to be. Options are going to be the same as the existing Tri-5s. So the base model will come with the 6-cylinder 3-speed manual, and then the Super and Deluxe models will come with the V8 with the 2-speed automatic. I'll just send you all the vehicles. Here we go. Alright. So yeah, this is where like the funkiness really comes in. It's these little details. So I want this to be flat. I'll hold off on that for now. Alright. I'll figure out how to finesse this a little later. For now, I'll procrastinate doing that by working on the grill. The right parts. Okay. What is going on here? Okay. The whole grill leans forward. So that makes these shape boxes a little bit complicated. It looks like this grill leans forward a bit too. Let me get a better profile so I can kind of... Oh wait, I've got this guy right here. That's kind of hard to tell. So yeah, it looks like the grill leans forward, but the side pieces don't. Oh my gosh. Just let me... Alright. Yeah, that doesn't look like it leans forward, but the grill does. Interesting. That's what's kind of fun about doing these models, is you notice all the little details. Yeah, so this is rounded in here, and so this grill lines up on the top here, more or less, and then it kind of indents around there, really emulating the back design. Interesting. That's pretty cool. I never knew that. Never knew that little detail. So yeah, I'm gonna have to kind of round out the bottom here. So yeah, it's very similar to back here, just a little wider. Cool. So in the aftermarket chat on the UNU Discord, Oldborn, the Canadian, is saying he wants to make a Daytona spoiler for the 550. I support that. Alright. Okay. So yeah, let's just go ahead and flatten this out. So the 4 has to meet the 1. And then the 7 has to meet the 6. The 3 has to meet the 2. Alright, then I'll just mirror this and then copy the UV map and delete this guy just to save me a little bit of time. I'm trying to, so the reason I'm keeping a lot of this construction and not totally redoing it, 1, it's a little easier, and 2, they can share more of the UV map. So I'm going to go ahead and hide this bumper. So I can get it out of the way. Laura, you don't understand. A Daytona spoiler on the 550 would be so funny. Alright. You should know Oldborn's style by now. Okay. So the same deal. 4, 1. 3 to the 2. 8. I think this is all like radiator shroud stuff, so I'll get that out of the way. Mirror, UV match, and delete. The Daytona broker, yeah, the UNU Forex. That is still something that's sitting in my modeling folder. So I'll bring everyone up to speed. Just these little tangents sort of make this fun. All right. So the UNU broker, the UNU Coupe Forex. Yeah. So this is what? Okay, I know I did something. It's probably under here. What? Where is it? Yeah, it's under. Huh. I could have sworn I actually started making something. Maybe it's in like a racing pack or something goofy. Oh, here we go. Broker. It's in here. No, that just has a livery. The Asbestech, the best asbestos. What the hell? Well, now I have to find the 4X model. I know I made it. Oh, maybe it just was this. Ah, okay, here we go. So yeah, this is how far I got. Which is pretty far. It just didn't quite get to the whole polishing stage. These are the headlights that has pop-up of down headlights. Pop up and down headlights. Yeah. So yeah, this'll happen eventually. See, it's like got the fastback model too. Um, little air ducts for the brakes. So yeah, this is something that I will release at some point. I just need to actually get around to caring about it enough. Sad state abandoned stuff is. In fact, you can go into the racing pack here, and there's like all sorts of things, like a Doom buggy, which I guess is just the Volkswagen with the sensor safe logo. Did I actually make these models, or are these just straight up copies? Oh yeah, here's the little racing rabbit with the cute little mud flaps and whatever the hell this thing is supposed to be. Oh shit, it has a body kit. I forgot about the body kit in the back. And it's like lowered. Dang, I should make this. This body kit's actually kind of neat. It's a little goofy, but it's cool. What else we got in here? Oh, the Racing Corsair is pretty cool. Yeah, this is the Racing Corsair. So it's got a cover over it, and then a single windshield, a head thingy for aero, an aero package underneath, including like little outlet vents for the engine cooling, aero hubcaps, a really cool spoiler that I even like. The reason these are black around it is I was gonna make this like kind of tilt and stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of there's even like this special hood vent, because I think this had like, yeah, so there's a special hood vent because it's fuel injected. So yeah, I want to make a racing pack. I just have gotten so bogged down in military content and whatnot. Contractor. What? I don't even remember the racing contractor. Maybe I didn't do anything with it. No, okay, nothing happened with it yet. We love the contractor, don't we, folks? But yeah. So yeah, I want to make a racing pack. I have like all sorts of plans. Like for example, the racing broker is an example of one thing I want to do, which is make a livery item that on any UNU car you install a livery item and it adds a livery, like the Asbestec quality friction products, stuff like that. You know, where it's like more conveniently UV mapped than UNU vehicles are. The reason I want to make a separate thing rather than spend the effort of UV mapping a vehicle is because I am still like want to stick with the flying mod thing, and I'd rather do stuff after the fact because it's a little easier. Oh shit, this got a whole roll cage. I didn't even notice. I forgot about that. So yeah, I have plans. It's just I have way too many abandoned plans as well. Alright, back to the task at hand. Alright. What the hell happened here? Alright. shape boxes. Okay. So now we've successfully smashed the... Oh, well, okay, this little funkiness here doesn't really matter. But we have successfully smooshed... No, it does matter. We've successfully smooshed the front here. I just have to unangle this little bit. How much is this angled in? Hopefully it's a convenient amount. 0.125. Great. Some doesn't quite fit in here. Okay. Well, I can delete these things because the grill isn't going to be that wide. Okay. And this is, because this is 0.125 different, I'm going to do that. Oh no, it's 0.25. Cool. That makes it, I can just do this. Right? Easy peasy. Easy dubs. Alright. So now we've successfully smooshed in the front of our car. Let's go ahead and actually start modifying the grill more. So I'll put this up here to kind of preserve it. I just said ignore the grill for now because that's going to have to be shape boxed. Okay. So we'll start with bringing it in a pretty modest amount. And go from there. So next is going to be these things. So right here, it's a lot more conservative than the 56. So the eyebrows are smaller and they kind of only tuck in a little bit. There's this little body line here. I'm not sure if I'm going to implement that. We'll see about that. Maybe not. And then this is kind of rounded and sits behind the headlight. So I'm just going to kind of copy this whole front junk here. Just again as like a backup. Okay, so we'll go ahead and reduce this. What happened here? All right. Okay. I think we're doing pretty good, pretty good. Alright, it's a lot more conservative there. Jonathan says that my mod is that UNU is his favorite mod to use for the City of Roleplay. Well, I'm flattered to hear that. I always like when I see UNU content out in the wild. It's rewarding. Okay. I think I'm just going to leave that there for now. How's this kind of all looking construction-wise? Okay, I'll flatten this up. What's this look like? Be the same. Now I'm just gonna completely chonk these so it's nice and flat. Alright. What the hell? Why is this 2? I'm guessing that's just for UV map autism with the 750, because that's the 750 turn signal size. Okay. So what am I looking at here? I guess I can just make these pop out 1 so that they kind of line up. So then I'm going to need something like this. Or do I want to do it more like this? I think I like the other one better, but I'll stash this up here just to kind of save it. I put the playlist on loop. Oh, that's my wrong window there. Great, now I was going to see my personal YouTube recommendation page. Oh, there we go. Yes, we're still watching. We're all still listening together. Okay. I think I like this better, but I'm not 100% sold. Alright, let's see. Tricky part is kind of how it interacts with the light here. Yeah, it's a lot more subtle, isn't it? Oh, now I'm kind of thinking I like this better. Yeah, I think I'll go with this because then it kind of matches the headlight, and so I can do this here, like so. So let's go on with this. Riveting content, I'm sure. Alright, so this kind of leaves an opening for implementing that body line. We'll have to figure this out here. Yeah, these streams are generally pretty chill. I like doing them. Plus, it's a good way to kind of ramble about miscellaneous UNU lore. So, Let's see here. What if I do this? I think that makes it indent a little too much. If I do this, then I think the grill sticks out too much. I don't want the grill to be that pronounced. Well, I think that right there is our answer. Alright. Hello from Brazil. Congratulations on the quality. Well, thank you, my Brazilian amigo, for noticing and enjoying quality UNU products. Okay. So yeah, we'll go down this road, see where this takes us. Have some fun here with tweaking these things. Okay. Don't get the Derek VTuber. You know, now that you mention it, maybe I will. Alright. So let's see how we're looking here. And I accidentally made the bumper visible. Whoops. Okay. Get the bumper back out of here. Get out of my house. At least for now. I do not even remember what this little bit here is. I think this is part... Oh, okay. This is the, like, back of the fascia for when the grill is removed. So I'll have to flatten that too. Alright. So this is how we're looking. Not too bad. There's this little bit in the corner here. Now, what if, now stick with me here, what if the grill was just a little taller? What if we made the grill just 1 pixel taller? How would that look? I think that completes the look. Nah, Athena's flirtatiousness is not an insult, and she will not take that the wrong way. It is an asset to the UNU community. Alright. UNU community lore. It's a little cursed sometimes. But I wouldn't have it any other way. Well, no, I guess there's no point in doing that, now is there? Okay. I think it's starting to come together. I like this guy in chat. We love UNU enjoyers here. Okay. Put this up here again to sort of preserve the old geometry, mostly for like UV mapping and stuff like that. Alright, here we go. What's this? Piece of the hood. Okay. Well, I can also delete this trim piece here so it doesn't get in my way. Okay. The Trabant look. The Trabant once again makes its way into the MTS community. Isn't it something like every single pack has some sort of Trabant reference? At least like for a while there, it was like every pack had its own version of the Trabant. The rabbit was inspired by the initial concept of the rabbit was inspired somewhat by a combination of a Trabant and a what was it? A Renault R10, I think. I'm gonna pull that up. So initially it was Trabant, but then I kind of implemented some design features of the Renault R10 into it. And of course the Rabbit is one of the more unique UNU vehicles because it's not just a blatant ripoff of an American classic. But yeah, I love the Trabant references in MTS. Yeah, Laura, and I realized you didn't have one, and like a lot of packs now don't. But for a while there, I think Blaze was working on one. I almost want to say that FSend was working on a Trabant of some sort. Yeah, interesting ones. You know, one person who I haven't seen around in MTS for a long time, Lemmy, someone, Lemmy. I forget exactly what their username was, but they're like making a hot rod that I think if they knew about UNU V6, they'd be pretty into it. Maybe they changed their username and I'm just not caught up. All right, rambling aside, I think. So this kind of funkiness here is left over from geometric uniqueness. I'll just leave it like that. There might be reasons I don't remember why I have that funky geometry in there. Okay. All right. We're looking good. We're looking good. Silver. I knew they changed their name. I just didn't remember what it was. Okay. So we got this whole thing going on. Let's take a look here. Even though the trim here is pretty thin, it's consistent all the way around. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this thicker. Let's see how that looks. Let's try it on for size. We just make this a little thicker here. See how it looks. Let's take a gander. Yeah, not too bad. And the reason I'm doing this is because this has to open with the hood, and I want to make this little angle here better. Now this is looking like it's 6 pixels tall. Let's see here. So the base is 5. 6, 3. Ugh, yeah, it's like at an angle. So I think this is 7 tall in total. Okay, so let's flatten off the top. And bottom for that matter. Let's just make it... There we go. That's one way to do this. And it's showing off some angles that I didn't notice before. Okay. I'm just going to totally redo this whole deal. Okay. Alright. Open in browser. That's what Oldborn just sent in our aftermarket chat. So he's working on it. Oldborn will get you covered with your frickin' Daytona wing on your 56 Chevy. Okay. Okay, we got some lore going on in the chat here. Athena's brought into it. Yeah, Athena's been around for quite some time before V6. Then yeah, Laura's been around. You've been around for a while. You're probably one of the most loyal UNU subcontractors, or not subcontractors. I guess customers, packs that use UNU, because there have been a few UNU partner packs that have come through, but you've been around the longest and use UNU features the most thoroughly. Alright, I thought I was going to have to bust out one of my special tools, but I can just do this. So if I set this to be the slope of the grill, this is 5 pixels tall, 1 pixel back, so that's 0.2 pixels for each height. So that's easy. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of reset all these shape boxes, and we're taking it from the top here. We're taking it from the top. We're starting over. Do it live! Okay. Whoop, not that guy right there. Alright. You can't see this, but you'll just have to use your imagination. I'm just tweaking the box and thinking. Oh, oh. And this is 0.1. A very, very small difference, but that's what makes UNU quality. Except I mixed up the signs here. There we go. Because yeah, this right here is where the quality comes into play. So this is, like I mentioned, this is 0.1 per height, and so this guy, you know, is sloped to match, which is cool. And then I want to make this all match, so I just gotta pull it up by half. And this isn't exactly the world's most complicated mathematics right here. But I do have a Desmos tool for when these angles do get complicated. Alright, there we go. Well, now I'm thinking that I kind of want to make this not stick out so much, because with the 56, if I go into here again, the grill, especially the top here, is a lot more of a pronounced feature than this. So I think I'm going to make all this half a pixel, and then that will mean I can eliminate this downward slope, which will make life a whole lot easier here. Okay, so you're going to make this 6 tall, or no, 5 tall, just as our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ intended. many do compare me to Christ-like figures, so I think it's an apt comparison. Alright. And that is a joke for those of you keeping track at home. Okay. Yeah. The UNU bloodbath of former partners is pretty interesting. So there's Mackerel, who disappeared after ditching UNU, and that was like an unsavory departure. That was interesting because people have left UNU. Moonspire departed UNU, which was like Moonspire. Moonspire, interestingly, was the DKZ of the old MTS. Very early UNU partner, very similarly aligned with the UNU aesthetic. Never released anything beyond a bus, and that bus is still like the 9th most popular pack in MTS. So a lot of fun there, but yeah. So Moonspire left very cordially, like it was just a, yeah, I'm no longer making content anymore. Oh, okay, bye. But then Mackerel, man, that was like a fireball. He didn't just like leave, but it was all like, "You suck. You don't help me out at all." And yeah, that was fun. They had a big old drama mess in the middle of friggin' UNU chat. Yeah, Gap ditched UNU, the UNU convention, mostly just because like Gap has such a long development cycle because they're, you know, freaking making airplanes. So yeah, it takes a while. And so yeah, they don't use they used to use UNU, but they don't anymore, which is understandable. I mean, UNU doesn't really match their aesthetic in terms of like their poly count and stuff. Yeah, Turbo's vehicle pack used UNU, which was kind of weird because like he had his own parts. That was always like one of those. That his pack was actually on the main UNU convention page for a long time. But yeah, so I guess that was a little more recent. Okay. Making all this line up. So yeah, there have been a lot of people that have come and gone through the UNU partnership gates. Blaze, interestingly enough, was toying with being an UNU partner for a little bit. Even this is like a fun little Easter egg. So so back in the early MTS days, you had to compile a pack loader. And so this is like the folder where I do it, right? I have all the shortcuts. This is where all the loaders are. And you can see every single pack I've ever compiled in here. And so I've compiled Veb's pack loader, Bjorn's, which is recent, Gamp, the General American Motors content pack. This is Blaze's early pack. Moonspire, of course, the old air-cooled pack. The MTS contest pack. The MTS official pack, which I think this was just a byproduct of me using the template. Redcliffe, some TEOM stuff, Test Mat, which is this is like a Blaze prototype thing. Test MTS pack, Trash Mat, and Vashk Mat and Vashk Mess. So these were all ones that I compiled for Blaze. He gave me like a list. Then of course the UNU stuff, and then this was helping Warmonger enter the, and this was a commission. My only MTS commission. Well, no, the only one that like got released, I guess. But yeah, so these are all the packs I've ever compiled, and you can see like there's some interesting ones in there. So it's a little fun little Easter egg. But yeah, nah, like Blaze had some. Blaze was involved in UNU for a bit there. He was like he volunteered to make engine sounds because engine sounds have always been kind of like a weak spot in UNU. And so he actually volunteered to make some engine sounds for UNU. I didn't end up using any of them because they all sounded too modern, which makes sense. Blaze makes modern content. That's what he knows. But yeah, so I didn't use it. And, there are little tensions there. I think he took my like I don't like this sound a little personally. But yeah. All right. Well, now we're cooking. It's like a solid little grill here. Okay. And so yeah, this right here is going to be with the hood. So let's go ahead and start working on all this. Wait, two. Yeah. UNU and Trin have like, because UNU and Trin have been around since the beginning of MTS, there's all sorts of backstory. My favorite to like always throw out, like just kind of a lob into chat and then refuse to elaborate, is the Nert backstory. Just like, oh yeah, I remember when Trin was Nert. Only the old heads know. That's always a fun one. Jesus Christ. Alright, I'm just... Oldborn is sending the funniest... So I have like Discord and the YouTube chat open, and these are some things that Old Bjorn is sending. Making a little hood scoop. The splitter is hilarious. And it is like totally angular. It looks like it's from a 90s car. I support this. This is hilarious. We stan freaking... I don't even know. Yeah. My favorite drama has always been the classic Trin versus UNU. That'll always be my favorite. Alright, there we go. Yeah. So yeah, just working on super minutia freaking details here. Nothing to really write home about. This is the kind of fun part, is this freaking micro detail. Alright. So now we can start working on this here. Just like front fascia work. Okay. Ah, Fauna Fox Productions is back in the chat. Welcome to the stream. I remember you from our last stream. All right. Yeah, the MTS lore goes freaking deep. I do like that Blaze scoffs when he sees UNU content still. I love like this is a total dick move, and I totally like get that. But I like it when I get to live rent free in someone's head over just existing. It's fun. It's fun that someone can get so offended by my existence that I just preoccupy entire aspects of their lives. All right. Makes me forget it may it makes the horrific byproducts of some of this toxicity fade away. Okay. Yeah, the old stealing the fenders controversy of freaking whatever it was. That was funny. I mean, it's funny now, especially given that you use UNU like parts and stuff. So I like the humble brag of, yeah, my memory and photographic imagery is just so good. I accidentally copied it, freaking exactly. That's. But yeah, nah. There's also it's interesting the way things change because like Siegel and I would go at it, but then we created the convention together. So, all right. Well, this is looking good. This is looking way better than that other attempt. The grill's still a bit wide. It doesn't have like that squared off chonky look that this guy does, but that's just a fact of Steve scale. The way I do Steve scale is like the cars always end up wider, and for some stuff like cars always end up wider. The greenhouses always end up a little taller. And so sometimes like this, you can't really tell. It's not that big of a deal, but it's little details like this grill. Yeah, you're gonna notice. But this grill is actually not as heinous as other attempts. So I'm satisfied with this. I like it. Let's make the let's take a look at the grill here, or not the grill, the bumper. So we've got this, and then the splash apron. Let's make sure that all fits well. What is going on here? Something ain't right. Oh, okay. It's because it kind of folds back like that. But why, though? I remember this whole splash apron design, or I guess this is like the radiator support. I know I had like a specific reason for doing this. I feel like it was to give clearance for the horn, and so this should be back one or forward one. But then it sticks out. Alright, well, I'm gonna do the old move it up here as a backup, and then just pretend like that didn't happen. And then I'll rediscover why I did that. Alright. I once wrote a lore about my country and Blackthorn going to war over the Midwest. Please don't ask. I won't. But I love crackhead alternate history. That's kind of what UNU is. My favorite part... Ah, this sticks out a little bit. Alright. I'm going to have to... Ooh, there's not a lot of room for adjustment, is there? All right. Well, I'll just deal with this now and scooch it back a little bit. I have the power. Um, yeah, there are people out there that take the UNU lore way more seriously than I do. And, like, don't get me wrong, I've got a ton of UNU lore. Like, I enjoy alternate history as much as the next guy. But, like, also it ain't that deep, you know? Like, I'm not that worried about it. But yeah. For me, it's just like it's fun. And if I have to, like, come up with all this complicated stuff about, like, you know, the intricacies. Oh, that bumper kind of just works. I'm gonna modify these though. You know, I'm not into the whole, like, making it super exactly accurate and everything. It's just kind of goofy, you know. Just the classic, it ain't that deep, bro. It's kind of how I approach it. Which I think more people need to have. A lot of people get really deep into freaking the lore, and it's like if you're having fun, go for it. But yeah, I'm not thinking that deep into the UNU lore. All right. Yeah, lore. I know I know you're probably not lying when you say you made the Fortana from memory. It's a little yeah. There's no hard feelings, and I know, like, you're not lying, but it's still, like, kind of funny. And yeah, but yeah, like I said, that's water under the bridge. I'm not trying to stir up drama again. It was funny because you know, made your version, and then, like, pretty quickly after, I modified the cab of the steed because there were aspects of it that I didn't like, and so your version of it had those things that I had, you know, retconned out. So it was kind of funny. It always kind of reminds me of an old uh, steed. 3, 4. Okay. Boom. Boom. Yeah, a lot of work behind the scenes. Maybe not a doctor, but definitely a mathematician. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. There's a lot of math that goes into the UNU making process, which is cool because, like, I'm a former engineering student. I dropped out of engineering to pursue a worthless humanities degree because engineering is too much for me. But that's neither here nor there. Let's see. But I do have, like, a lot of math background, and so UNU is a way for me to kind of flex my math chops, and it's fun. It's fun to make math stuff. For example, like this. The reason this is Flans mod is, so this is a one wheel chunk, right? And I use trig to figure out, like, how much to pull these in. You can see these, like, random ass numbers. But what's funky is if you click this, right, and you rotate it, they line up. But if you click this, it's not rotated. None of these pieces are rotated. Because if you rotate a wheel piece in Flans mod, it sets the rotation to 0, and so all of these little pie slices will end up at the top, and you only have, like, one little slice of the wheel with 12 copies. So I wrote an Excel sheet to paste in one of these things and then arbitrarily rotate it, and that's why these numbers are insane. Is it uses matrix transformations and trigonometry to generate this. And yes, I know Fex's modeling toolbox, I think, does this for you, but I don't use that because the aesthetics look like a motel room, and that is literally the only reason why I don't use it. I just like toolbox. Uh, so yeah, but yeah, so I like flexing some math, and that's kind of another thing that sets UNU apart is like there's an actual former engineering student. I don't call myself an engineer because I'm not, but I understand a lot of engineering concepts and physics and stuff. And then of course I do hardcore math, and so a lot of that can come through in this content. All right, so some mild flexing and Doc backstory aside, let's jump back into the chat here and actually making stuff. All right. Uh, Laura's saying I pronounced something wrong again, and she laughs every time. I'm guessing that's the Fortuna truck. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even remember like how it's spelled. I just know it's something like fortune. Fortina. Okay. When in doubt, pull your calculator out. High school math teacher. That's always a good. I don't know if that would work if you're getting rejected in a speed dating scenario, but other than that, I think that would work. Yeah, the math background explains. Yeah, so yeah, now you know I'm a total freaking nerd. I mean, I guess we all are. If we're all on a live stream watching me make a 3D model for a Minecraft block game, we're all nerds. That's fine. All right. So make these bumper guards here. They're a lot They're different. They're skinnier and a little narrower than the 56 version. So I'll go ahead and do that. Get rid of the little bullet nose here. Okay. How are we looking here? All right. Yep. Oh, is that cute? I love the freaking pictures on these things. Some of them, I swear, are AI generated. All right. Uh, now chat's popping off like a real car brand would. Trigonometry. I like that. Uh, cool. All right, let's go ahead and Laura, I'm glad you appreciate my sense of humor. At least us nerds can be with each other this Valentine's Day. I think I'm just gonna make this. Nah. Oh, okay, yeah, I need to skinny these up. I was wondering why they looked a little funky. And then I'll bring the top one in a little more. Perfect. Bring the bottom one in. Okay. Nah, that's too much. That's too much angular action there. I think I'll go with that. How's that look? Bumper guards are one of those things that I'm just terrible with. Because it's not something not one of those things I... Oh, okay, that kind of tilts forward. So let's go for wow. Oh, this one's funky. Wah, wah. I love this freaking. You never know what you're gonna get with copyright-free music. All right, that is looking stylish. My gender identity is misclicking the freaking toolbox box, and then it brings me back to 00. All right, here we go. Bring in the. I want to know if there's. I'm curious if there's anybody that sees the Euro style license plate on a classic car is like, this is freaking communist. That's one of my funny thing. All right, Doctor, what is my favorite show? All right, my favorite TV show. Definitely, I think Better Call Saul. I finished it this year. My brother and I watched it like when it was first coming out on Netflix, like a year behind. But then we dropped off of it years ago, and we just finished it we rewatched the whole thing with my sister. So, yeah, and finished it. I don't know, like 6 months ago, and I'd say Better Call Saul is probably one of my favorite shows. Better than Breaking Bad. I mean, it's right there in the name. Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad. So, and that's a totally original joke that I just came up with, not one that my siblings tell each other all the time. So yeah, I'd probably go Better Call Saul is my favorite TV show. Alright. And Atis just popped into the chat. He's got his plane's manual on his desk, trying to draw its wing on AutoCAD. What are you, like a real engineer or something? Using real modeling software? What the hell is that? You don't use freaking. How old is this? 2016. You're not using 8-year-old abandonware? Come on, man. Alright. Yeah. Laura's into Has-Been Hotel, Hell of a Boss, and Bones. Bones! What is... I know a lot of people with a very similar personality to you, Laura, that watch Bones. And I thought Bones was no longer relevant in like freaking 2009. Bones. Interesting. Alright, let's see. This is 0.25. I'll carry that. Bones. Bones, we all got him. Alright. I love the turn signals. They look like little blushies. There you go. Let's put them right there, right in the middle of the grill. Frickle. Alright, there we go. I click the right button. There we go. Oh, this is coming together now. This is looking good. This looks so much better than my last attempt. Alright. Regular Show is a classic. Regular Show is like quintessential high school for me. It brings me back to my old friend group. So many Regular Show's banger. Alright, let's see what the CV map here is looking like. Okay. So, this is an interesting one. So it's 48 minus 16 in each direction. And 13 minus 9. Okay, well this makes it triple up and down. Yeah, okay. So let's go back to the -9 on the Y, keep it fun and consistent. Consistency is fun, kids. Don't do drugs. Alright. So we got 14, so that's 28. If you do 28 times 3, 84. Yeah, easy peasy. It's 84, and then we're set to do -28 in each direction. -28 for this guy. Whoops, what the hell just happened? And then, what was it? 84. Boom. Grillin'. Okay, so let's see, 14 times 3. What is going on here? Alright, I'm going to reverse engineer what I did. So -9, so it's 4. 4 times 3 is 12. Oh, I see what I did. Because I wanted the grill to line up to be an odd number so I can have like the right number of slats. Okay. So the new grill is 5. 5 times 3, that's 15. So I can just do that. And that'll still work. Cool. Cool. Alright, this is 5 tall, so it's going to be -1 on the bottom. Allegedly. The hell? Why does that not line up like at all? Oh, it's freaking angled. Why the hell is it angled? Alright, there we go. There we go. Bang. Alright, we got a grill, boys. Okay. Damn, we actually got like a chat going on. What is going on over here? Alright. Well, that is... I just read Atis talking about how to draw stuff by hand and then uses the Autodesk 30-day trial. That's great. We love that. If UNU made modern cars, what would their names be? I don't know. Because broadly, UNU vehicles have the names of UNU civilian vehicles change by the generation. So, Gen 3 vehicles, like made just before World War II, that's named like the Mariner, well, I think the Mariner is the only one that is released for that generation. But yeah, if I go to the old sponsor vehicle chat, I can revise my memory a little bit. So yeah, the 1940s, so this would be after World War II. So they've got things like Mariner, Bombardier, Commander, Private, Torpedo. And so they're like very military, like weapons and stuff. And then the early 50s, like most UNU vehicles are named after a profession. And so like that's why you have the Baron, the Director, the Broker. Those are named after professions. The Contractor, things like that. Earlier UNU vehicles and the military vehicles tend to be named after, and like industrial vehicles tend to be named after animals. So you have the UNU burro, the UNU camel, the UNU scarab, the UNU Steed, things like that. The Wolf, the Labrador. Like the Labrador is a civilian Jeep. The UNU Labrador is a civilian version of the Wolf because the Labrador is a tamed wolf. Fun stuff like that. So yeah, and there are exceptions to the rule. Like the 550, 650, and 750 is kind of trying to emulate in our real in like late 50s numbers were big. So like the Oldsmobile 88 and stuff like that. Like the Chevy trim levels were 210, 150. So that's kind of where that came from. But yeah, so that's kind of that. 1920s vehicles, the Slenodon and Mastodon and Mammoth, those are named after extinct animals because they kind of occur before like UNU formalized its. I'm doing all these hand gestures you guys can't even see. UNU like formalized its naming, so like the UNU Mastodon, lore-wise, when it first came out, was just called the UNU automobile, the UNU car, right? It's just the UNU, because lore, they weren't really. UNU wasn't there to like become an auto manufacturer. It was a way to prevent their laboratory from getting shut down during the Depression. So yeah, fun stuff. My favorite are like some of the British cars that I have in the pipeline, like the UNU Pard. I like the UNU Delivery, or is going to be renamed to the Pard Delivery. The UNU Prefect, Multipla, Highlander, Turin, Borderland. I think those are pretty cool names. A lot of those were come up with by White Falcon. All right, let's get back on the beyond that. UNU Divide. So yeah, as for modern cars to be named, I don't know. That's an interesting one I haven't really thought about. Okay. There we go. Alright, caught up on chat. So yeah. Yeah, nah, I don't think UNU would make crossovers. I see, UNU doesn't make things that I don't like. That's why it's not a crew cab truck. I ended up making a crew cab part as like a demo for the bed system, but I freaking hate crew cab trucks, especially the new ones, man. Like if your truck bed is smaller than your cab, that's not a truck. That's a car with no trunk lid. Like straight up. Like, I'm sorry, man, but you're not a man if you drive a modern truck. Like, drive an old Jeep with no roof. That'll make you a man. Not this freaking, oh, my truck has heated seats and air conditioning. That's not a truck. Get out of here. So yeah. All right. I am liking this front. I think this is pretty solid. I do kind of want to make this shorter because I think right now it's a little longer. But the problem is the radiator. So let's see if we can do that here. All right. Might sponsor an 850 or a 950. Hey. And then Laura's like, those aren't possible. So the 550, 650, and 750 are the 55, 56, and 57. The digits are swapped. So a 850 would be a 58 Chevy, and a 950 would be a 59 Chevy. The 59s are already kind of made. Those are the Baron and the Director. The Baron is an UNU-ified 59 Chevy, and the Director is an UNU-ified 59 Oldsmobile. Now, the 59 Chevy is very different from the Baron in the mostly in the back. The front's very similar, but the back, the UNU Baron doesn't have the teardrop taillights, which are like the icon, right? It's a little more geometric, kind of like a cross between a 59 and a 60. Okay, old Borns. Atis already pointed that out. And the 58, I will not be making. The 58s are ugly in my opinion. I don't like those, especially the back. Like, I'm gonna pull it up, just because Caps lock, boomer moment. I forget. That's ugly. That's so ugly. That's so horrible. What the hell is this? Like, I'm gesturing with my hands right now. Like, this is gross. I don't like this at all. It looks like you took a 59 and just squished it. And then honestly, I'm not, like, the front is fine, but it kind of just looks like a checker to me. And then yeah, this whole funkiness, nah man. And this like forward angle, I don't like the forward angle right here. Like on windshields, a few cars have that. That's one of the reasons why I don't really like late 50s Chryslers and Fords, is they have this too. Yeah, nah. 58, that's not doing it for me. Now, 59. Now this is a beautiful car. And I didn't even try doing this with UNU because I don't think I could do it justice. That is a very nice car. And then just while we're here, I think it was Olds. And then just for this is basically the UNU director. That's what this is. The UNU director was inspired by. The front's a little goofy. The back's pretty nice. But yeah, I'm not gonna be making a 58 Chevy. I don't like them. All right. Drive a PT Cruiser. You'll be disappointed. I am disappointed whenever I have the misfortune to get behind the wheel of a modern car. They don't do it for me. For those that don't know, I drive classic cars in real life. That's why I make classic cars for UNU. I like classic cars. I work on them. I maintain them. I have a small fleet. Most of them run. Not few of them actually drive right now. So yeah, I've only ever driven classic cars. My daily driver is a Corvair. So yeah, I worked for Les Schwab for a little bit, where I had to drive modern cars into like the bays, and nah, you can miss me with that crap. I don't need air conditioning. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna tweak this cord support air duct thing here to bring the front clip back. I'm gonna have to modify where the siren goes. Okay. So I think I'm gonna try to bring it back by 2 pixels. I think that's gonna be my initial attempt here. So let's see how this goes. Alright. Bro, just put fins in it. Yeah, the 58s lack fins, honestly. Like, that weird funkiness in the back is like melted fins. But yeah, I probably won't be making a 58 just because there are a few reasons. It's a little repetitive. I already got the Tri-5s. With UNU, like these, so like the I don't want to make too many vehicles in one generation. I don't want it to get lopsided. So that's also part of it. Alright, so it looks like, what the hell? There's some uptown funk going on right here. Because you can't see, but like these all shape boxed to be a little longer. So I'm gonna have to, this is not shape boxed and this is 3. And so these are all shape boxed, half a pixel in. So, yeah. So these are technically 2, so if I want to move it back 2, that's gonna cause problems. So, yeah, these are all 2. Now, how messed up are these EV maps already? What? Oh, that needs to be... Okay. Yeah, these are already kind of funky, so I'm just gonna mulligan this. Let me just make sure this isn't like a fender thing. Alright. Fauna asks, UNU muscle car. I think the closest we're going to get to an UNU muscle car, at least in the near future, is the Broker 4X edition. That I'll kind of do a fastback. Mainly because, like, again, I don't really like, I'm not a big muscle car guy. I like slow cars. And yeah, I don't like fastbacks either. Okay, so yeah, this is all just one big chunk. So yeah, I can redo this whole section. Because yeah, if you look at this, it's like... This is just a mess in here. Oh, okay. I did all this because of the specific, like, design of... Okay, that makes a lot more sense. But muscle cars down the line, yeah, I could see that. Like, once I build up the UNU lineup more. It's just as of right now, it's not a priority. I'd rather build up the older cars. Build out the interior of the UNU fleet. So there's a lot of, there's like one 1930s car and one 1940s car. I'd like to focus on building those out a little more. 59 Eldorado, those are pretty nice. I think the 59 Cadillac fins are a little too much, in my opinion. I think it's a little too much fin. I like the 62 Cadillac is my favorite. That's a good amount of fin. That's tasteful. I'm gonna pull that up. Cause like oh no, not 62, 61. This right here is like my kind of. I like this. Open a new tab. Cause like it's it's a little more modest, not as over the top as the 59 Cadillac. I don't really like the angle that it's got. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a nice car, but it's a little much in my opinion. But yeah. Okay. How's the Corvair doing? Corvair got hit. I mentioned that a while ago. I had it parked out in front of my house. Like, someone came around the corner, and when I say that, people think that it was parked on the corner. It wasn't. It was parked like 4 car lengths up, and then someone smashed it. Here, I'm gonna see if I can. I'll pull up some pictures of that. We'll go on a little like more real life tangent here. Ooh, let me see if I even have pictures that I can pull up. Okay, here we go. So, yeah, I don't even live at this house anymore, so I don't have to worry about doxing too bad. But yeah, someone did this to it, and like you can see, I'm not even close. You can see over here, I'm not even close to the corner. The street's all the way back here. I mean, yeah, blur out their freaking private info. Jesus Christ! All right. Yeah, I should probably make sure I don't accidentally pull up. As much as I would like the guy that hit me to get doxxed. Yeah, here's like the compilation. So, comes around the corner, and then comes up, and my Corvair is like right behind this bush. It's like right here. And then this next video, I'm in it, so I don't want to do a full body reveal. But yeah, like from all the way over here, curse smash, and then so this is just before the accident. So this is my dad's van. The rest of the cars in this are mine. So I want keep your eye on this little corner right here, like right where the bush meets the roof of the van. It's right there. Do you see that? Do you see that little bump? That little flash of white right there. I'll play it one more time. Hopefully, like the stream is showing it. That little white flash that you see is the front of my van. He smashed my car so hard, and this is a hill, this is a pretty steep hill. He smashed my car so hard that it went up onto the curb. Let me see if I can find a curb shot. Yeah, so it went up onto the curb, ripped the sill panel off, dented my rims, hubcaps, the whole deal. Like, I didn't park like this. Look at that. It pushed it up onto the curb and smashed my van, the back of my van, and you can see here how far it skidded my tires. You can see right there. 2 feet. Closer to 3 feet. Because that white flash was my van getting pushed forward. Yeah, and so that's what he did to his plastic piece of shit. Well, it was actually his sister's, which is even better. But yeah, there's where the Corvair smashed my van. So it dented my door, fucked up both bumpers, smashed in the whole front of my car. Like, I still get pissed off about this. Because, yeah, like it totally broke the wheel off and bashed up the whole side of it and everything. Yeah, so like that was serious. Like he smashed, and what was really like scary is you see my Chrysler in the driveway here. I normally park my Chrysler behind my Corvair, and I was working on it, and I pulled it into the driveway because the sun was in my face, and he hit my car like 5 minutes later. I was still setting up my tools, so if like it was cloudy, I would have been in the street working on my car, and he would have nailed me. And I'd probably be in a wheelchair because this is a pretty freaking serious accident. He didn't even slow down. Yeah, so that's that. But this is a little like victory video here of my Corvair back on the road. So it's still all smashed up, and it's still smashed up to this day. But yeah, I replaced the A-arm, and it's fixed, and it's back on the road. I have a guy who's going to give me a fender. I just have to drive all the way out to like freaking Washington State, cut it off of a car, weld it onto mine. So it's still an ongoing process. If you're in the UNU Discord on the Real Projects channel, I share what's going on. But yeah, that's fun. But the settlement helped me buy a house, so I guess it's, you know, God's way of looking over me, I suppose. All right, UNU Volga. Alright, cool. Chat had some questions, got answered by my monologuing. Laura would be concerned if UNU made a 51 LeSabre. Oh my god, that's horrible. Oh, okay, the back is kind of neat. That's actually kind of cool. That's a little gross. That's like even worse than an Edsel. I don't know, the more I look at it, the more it's like actually not too bad. Just like the original. Yeah. And this is a concept car, so that makes sense. Yeah, I don't think I'd go that far. And while I'm here, might as well. I think I know what this one is. Oh, okay. No, this isn't what I thought it was. I like that the literal first one is Flow from Cars. Yeah. Alright. Okay, back to this going on here. Alright, I got that all shrunk down. And let's select all those parts. Reverse selection, make uninvisible. Do this little thing so it doesn't get all funked. Alright, oh, that looks good. Ah, the radiator cap pokes out. Okay. The radiator cap pokes out. I could scoot the radiator back half a pixel. That still gives fan clearance. My only concern is that would be the only vehicle that has less than a pixel fan clearance, I think. And I don't really want to push it. Alright, I think I know what I'm going to do. So, I'll leave. Oh, wait, the frame's also, like, poking. Wait, what is this? Oh, the radiator's totally poking through. Alright, let's be 1 pixel forward. Okay. That'll work. This is like total freaking NPC music, but I like it. Does that make me an NPC? No. I know I don't want to be an NPC. Alright. So, oh, frick. There we go. And I could, like, scoot the whole engine back. There's room. The engine sits way too far forward. But I'm not going to, because then that would be inconsistent. The whole Gen 5 frame thing going on, so I'm just going to leave it as is. So yeah, it's not going to be much shorter than the 650. Yeah, that's looking good. I like it. Alright. Alright. Cool. I think I can go ahead and get rid of all of this. Alright. A lot of work. I'll leave. I'll get rid of this. I'll have to relocate the siren anyway. There's less room under the front. Okay. This is 12. So now I have to get this in here. Freaking adorable. Okay. So now there's still broad strokes. I like it. I think this is a winner right here. I think it's got. I think this is indentation here is a bit more pronounced than in the actual 55, but I like it. It's got some funk to it. I can fuck around with this. So I need to build this little piece in here to make this connect, and then redo the hood, get like all centered. Yeah, we're trucking along. We're cruising right along. Cause yeah, this all opens with the hood, so it needs just like right here, which I totally forgot about. This is to kind of make the hood line continue into the body without it opening because of the overlap. This actually needs to come in. Ah, okay, that's why I had those there separate. Alright, well, let's make the doors go away here real quick. Not too bad, I just need a little piece in here. UNU should have a special urban legend. Yeah, oh, dude, have you not seen the MTS Iceberg? There are plenty of UNU-based freaking urban legends in there. Alright. Oh, let's make this go all the way down. Why not? There we go. Fill that little gap in. Cool. Alright. Excuse me. Yes, I am still watching. We're all listening together. Okay. So these are part of the body, so I can just boink, do that. No. This is a benefit of having so many different models and like not working on a specific thing for a while. Is I need to remember, is this a fascia or is it just the grill? Okay, so there's no fascia on this vehicle. So it's really just the grill? Okay. This is all grill. Might need to change that for the 550. It's going to be annoying because I can't just like reuse the same Jason. Because yeah, it's definitely, well, nah, I think I'll just make this all part of the grill. To be consistent, you can add a fascia thing later. So yeah, that can just extend into there. No, because then when you take the fender off, it'll look funny. All for this one tiny little piece. So all this effort is going into. That, my friends, is UNU quality. Alright. So I shortened it up by 3. 3, 3. Now I just need to remember that that exists so that I could texture it. Parts, make all parts visible. This doesn't need to open with the trunk, so it can actually be the same thing. Okay. And then this is to prevent Z fighting, what I'm about to do here. I think I just need to do 5. There we go. That should line up perfectly. And it does. Almost like I know what I'm doing. One of these days. Okay, now before I do this top part, I need to make this hood look a little better. It's a little funky. It's got a little too much going on here. This top part I like. It's this bottom piece here that... I don't. Wrong tool. The army of Derek cutouts, yes. We all love armies of Derek cutouts. There's like for a while there, oh man, I feel so bad. I forget her name. She was like, her profile pic was Hat Kid. She made like a version of Hat Kid in an UNU uniform. I don't remember her name, but she made a bunch of like shit posts with Derek cutouts and stuff, which are hilarious. I think that's who did it. I'm not sure now. It was a while ago. Okay, so let's see if we can massage these parts here into something good. Weirdly enough, the furry body kit turns the grill into a fascia. I'm sure it does. Oh, Fury. Oh, God. Alright, I thought that makes a lot more sense. Don't like that. I almost want to like do something like this. But I don't think that's helping. This is like a little annoying part. Because, yeah, this is the part that's funky because it has like an indent right here. You can see how it kind of folds in. Like over here, it's not bad because it folds out. But yeah, it's because this goes in more than this does. This comes up 2 and comes in by half, so it's a 0.25. The old rise over run. So, let's see. Five, half of that. Yeah, so that should be. So that's kind of where it wants to be. To have like the consistent slope. And that's the closest quarter. Yeah, it's like I'm gonna have to go. Oh, geez, now it's all messed up. Yeah, I don't like that. Okay. So, stuff. Yeah, the triangles aspect. Yeah, I could use triangles here. And I might just end up doing that. But the problem with triangles is when you use triangles with Flans mod, things fuck up. And it there's weird lighting glitches. I think what I'll just do. So I'll just let this sit. Well, here, let's just try making this piece here even height. No, because then it's just going to be flat. Like, it has to curve back. But it can't curve back down here. That's where this is kind of... Alright. That's where the issue's coming in. It comes up, and it indents. Alright, I'm just going to try doing things a little differently here. God, I don't think that's going to work. Alright. I'm just going to jank this a little bit, and then we'll come back to it. Oh man, what the hell? Okay. This is like totally... I didn't realize that I had changed it that much. Alright, I think I can trying to live with that for now. It's just this. Yeah, I think I can live with this. This fucking thing. Alright. Then copy over the UV map. As if it's going to be anything close. Modified the hood and stuff so much that I don't think the UV map is going to be the most consistent thing in the world. Okay. Then I can just go ahead and take all these hood pieces. -55, -12. This sets them all so they have the same center point. A little trick, a little shortcut there. Alright, then this short little piece here. Okay. And it's only needed on this little corner. Alright, so let's see what we got going on here. So this is 2 -5, so it's 1.5 tall. And it's leaned back by 1. So it's 1.5 tall. Leaned back by 1. Well, not 1 divided by 0.5. So that's 6 each. Like 0.666 forever. So it's 1.5. I'm gonna guesstimate that's about half the height. So if I chop down 0.25, should line up well. Very good. Alright. And then bring this back by 0.5. Duh. So 666 must be the height. Okay. Is it the bright? No, it's the dark. Okay. So these come back by 5. And then this. Alright, show border visible parts. That actually lines up freaking perfectly. Look at that. I overcomplicated it. Okay. There we go. Got that little piece in there. Oh, I forgot the bottom one. Beautiful. Parts make all parts visible. Alright, the front is... Frick. I have to deal with this. Oh, I got a ping on the UNU Discord. Alright. Left middle section. Alright. So Laura says I'm missing an object on the left middle section. don't know what that is. Maybe it's one that I already got. I don't know. Okay. See, I have to deal with these. These little eyebrows. Oh yeah, ping in Discord. Let's check that out. Okay, it's staff room stuff. Ah, okay. It's this guy right here. Missed it when I was setting the origin up. Thank you, Laura, for catching that. Alright, parts. Delete offset. Swap. 55. -12. Cool. Alright, eyebrows. Let's see what we got going on here. This one just kind of melds into the body. They both kind of do, and then you have this crease here. See, it kind of goes back behind the curve. So I think just do that. Like so. Okay. By first messing it up. It's always the first step, because then you can fix it. Okay. Alrighty, I think that works. And then yeah, so sometimes this will cause problems in Flans mod. If it's something like this, I'm fine with it. I don't like doing triangles in situations like this, just because one, it's kind of harder for me to keep the geometry all tracked up in my head, and also it leads to really funky UV map stuff. So yeah, I think I'll just stick with this. I think this will get the job done. It looks good. And then what I could do with these outer ones, if I'm still toying with the idea of implementing that body line, so I could do this and then kind of make a seam here. I don't think I'm going to do that though, mostly because I think it's a detail that's so like minor. I mean, it's a visual detail that you notice a lot when you're actually like looking at the car in real life, but pixel wise it would be such a minor detail that I don't know if it's gonna make the biggest impact. Why can't SolidWorks exist for iPhones? That's great. Okay, cool. Alright, I think the front is done. So now it's time for the back. And then the trim. Cool. The back, I think, hopefully should go a little quicker. I'm going to cut off this at 8. The event's already, like, freaking over. I can't even modify it on Discord. Yeah, it says I can't extend it. So yeah, I'm going to have a hard cutoff at 8. I have some homework I need to finish. So we'll see how far we get. Alright. Cool. The back of 55 is pretty straightforward. You got the little wink thing going, so that's a technical term. So hopefully you didn't get lost on that one. So once again, make the bumper disappear. Just like the bumper on my 56 in real life. Alright. I don't have a back bumper. I have pieces of a back bumper that I've slowly been acquiring. Okay. I think I did a really good job portraying this in my style in Minecraft. This rear section here. It's a distinctive aspect of the 56. Okay. Ooh, actually, I think I will keep that. There we go. Okay. And then I'll scooch this back. Alright, let's take a close look at the tail light. That's a little too close. There we go. Okay, so I kind of get a good look. So it kind of leans forward a bit, and then it pokes out, and then it's straight. And there's the indent with the light itself. Okay. Where's the bumper? Okay, so the bumper starts right there. Now let's see if this looks decent or if it looks like crap. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe if I do. Whoop. Wrong button. Misinput. Oh, that looks okay. Alright. So where does... Interesting. That was an interesting shape because it's like pointed here, and then by topping it's flat again. Okay. Alright, let's see. How's this line up? Okay. So this is, looks like 4, so I'll just go with the old 0.5. So I think that'll be solid. I think I can get rid of the Y on here. Alright, alright. I think this is starting to come together. Let's experiment a little bit here. I think this kind of fits the vibe better. Now I can't decide if I like this with the mild curve or more intense curve and then fill it out. I think I'm going to leave it like this to kind of match the front. I like that. Alright. Alright. Alright, we got quite. Alright, Chad's popping off again. I do like the 56 fins. I think they are. It is a nice, modest fin. Before I got my 56, the 57 was my favorite of the Tri-5s. But then once I got my 56 and I started seeing the Tri-5s in more detail, I realized the 56 is. I like the 56 and the 55. I don't know which one's quite my favorite, to be honest. But I know that I'm definitely not as much of a fan of the 57. While it still looks great, don't get me wrong. It's not a 58, but I think I like the more modest styling, less flamboyant. Actually, I think I'll just stick with one. Yeah, 56 has got a nice pair of modest fins. And it's cool because the gas cap is hidden behind the taillight housing, which is pretty cool. Ever plan on adding the Corvair back to UNU? Yes. Under, of course, an UNU name. I think it's on a sponsored vehicle. I think it's called like the Cadet or something. Yeah. Cadet Mark II is what it's... Because the Cadet Mark I is going to be like a Corvair. Kind of like the Corvair prototypes. I think the GM made a Cadet. I think that's... Yeah. So like, GM sort of made a Cadet. Well, that's where I got the name. The GM Cadet. And, it was an early compact car. It was really interesting. The transmission is in the middle. So you don't have a transmission hump. The transmission hump is under the seat, which is pretty cool. This was kind of like a very early predecessor to the Corvair. I guess this is a Czechoslovakian car. And then there's also the Henry J, which is like another kind of compact car. And then there's, what is it? Aero Ace. I was thinking of the engine. Because I was thinking about buying one that didn't have an engine. And it's just like another compact car. And so the Cadet Mark I is going to be a car like this, a compact car from the early 50s. And that's why the Corvair sponsorship in UNU is the Cadet Mark II. So, more plans. Okay. Cool, this is coming together. This actually is coming together pretty nicely. Let me just see. Yeah, not bad, not bad. All right. Yeah, I think most modeling goes a similar way. Let's see, a different trim for the Rabbit. I've been considering introducing trim levels to more UNU vehicles. I mean, it is a little goofy that the only vehicles with trims are the Tri-5s, but the thing is, if I implement trim levels, that causes cars to get deleted from the world. So I'm gonna have to think about it. I do like want to implement trim levels. It's just a matter of doing it, I guess. Because I would like to have like a deluxe Baron and stuff with more trim and whatnot. But yeah, we'll see. All right, I think those are going to be our taillights. Doesn't quite fit that whole deal quite so well, though. Let's see. Because it has to come to a point at the top. Yeah, I think it's kind of coming into an issue with this curve being different than this curve. So I'm going to go ahead and save these. Doing this. I'll do this instead. And then I'll modify these. Wrong number pad thing. Okay. Alright, well, goodbye, Fauna. It was always good seeing you on. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Probably already gone now. Alright. Cool. Alright, so let's see here. Yeah, I think this is going to work better. So what I can do is this is a 0.25 slope here. So I can Alright, now we're cooking with gas. It's running into the same problem. Because in order for the curvature to be the same, it has to kind of come in like this. But the problem is that this happens, so it needs to change. Let's take a closer look at this guy, literally just for the geometry. Ah, okay, so there's like this curve here, it curves in and it matches this curve here. Okay. This is going to be interesting. Because, yeah, it kind of curves in and follows that. So we'll go ahead and just get these ones out here. Which could do. But the thing is, it wouldn't match all this curve up here. It'd have to, like... At one point or another, this difference in curvature is going to be a problem. So I might just have to... It's because of this slope here. It's not a 45 degree. So let's see how 45 looks. And then we can bring this in here. So that looks a lot better, right, in terms of the surround. This doesn't quite... I mean, let's see. This is where I'm going to have to, like, you know, not make it exactly like a 55 Chevy. And so it's about what kind of liberty I want to take. So I could do that and keep the point and kind of make it like a gentle curve, which I think kind of matches the front, not of this car, but of some of the others. Or I could do this, have a consistent angle, but then it leaves this flat spot. I don't think... Let's see if making it a full angle with this part looks good. Obviously, I'm not going to do this because of all the UV stretching. I don't know if I like... Well, nah. All right, I can deal with that. Let's see. I have to make this shorter. Pull this in here. Bring this out. That, I think... Oh, I don't know. Because it's like too much taillight. I think I really just want to stick with this. Bring this back. I think that I like that. I think I like that. I think that's what I'm going to go with. Yeah, so Laura likes 1x3 like this guy. But like it almost seems like it's not enough taillight. So I think I'm going to go with this guy right here. It's a nice, because yeah, this just looked goofy, because it was too wide. It looked like a freaking, like a popsicle, like an ice cream lemon sickle thing. Creamsicle. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, cool. This works. This works. Mirror this over. The thing is, this sticks out just as much as the 56 taillight assembly, and I kind of wanted it to be shorter. Let's see if I can make that happen. Because it does stick out too much. There's too much meat here. But I think that's going to be an easy fix. I just have to shorten these up. I could go one further. The problem is I don't want another triangle here. There'd be a lot of triangles. I'll get the bumper involved. See how that works out. Are there bumper guards on the back? Oh, wrong tab. I don't think so, right? Oh, there are. Very similar to the front with the little wing going. Yeah, I'll kind of copy the front ones. Yeah, I agree. This is like a nice little curve. It's a nice balance. All right. Yeah, alright, I think I can work with this. Should I scoot these ones in too? Nah. Alright. We're looking good, we're looking good. Alright, got 10 minutes left to wrap this guy up. Cool. I think this works, I think this works. Okay. So, now it's time for the trim. The trim on a 56 is a whole lot simpler than a 50 or 55 is a little simpler than 56. I don't have to do this whole curve thing. So let's delete all this because I can do it on the other side. Okay. Ooh, I need to see where the... How much longer is the two-door door than the sedan door? So this is 25, 22. So it's 3 pixels longer. Perfect. Are all these like right next to each other on the texture sheet? Alright, let's take a look at this guy now. Alright, pretty straightforward. So we'll go ahead and copy this. Parts, corn, flip it. Alright, I think I'll just make this one piece. So as we know, it is real. I think I clicked the wrong thing. What the hell? Alright, we'll try this again. Front to back. Alright. So this is the base, or the super trim. So go ahead and get rid of all this extra stuff. So there are not as many trim options. Okay. Then I need to make that little like down piece. So copy this over to the other side. Oh, I need to redo the wheel well too. The wheel arch. So that's going to make a difference. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to leave this here. Because, yeah, I need to redo the wheel arch. Make the more squared off old school type. And then I might want to drop this trim down. Make it a little lower. So, yeah, it's a little more meat in the back. Yeah, so I need to drop this trim down. I'll do this, and then I'll have to call it a night. Yeah, that looks good. Gonna have to redo the whole precinct deal, but hey. Then that kind of makes this work better. So this has to go into the bumper. As that splits off the two-tone. Very nice. Well, that worked out. Okay. Then what's the... Oops. I'm going to end it here. Continues. Alright. Okay. Very nice. I like it. So yeah, the precinct is going to have to be shifted. But yeah. Solid. So yeah, I need to redo this wheel arch. But that will wait until tomorrow. So tomorrow, I was a little overzealous, setting the event to be starting the Mammoth. I mean, it's instead going to be finishing the 550. All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this stream. Got a lot done. This front end looks very nice, way better than my initial attempt. It is still wider looking than the actual 55, but you know, it is what it is. Then the back, I think, looks great. And Laura just said that I forgot to mirror this part. No, I didn't. This is the super trim right here. See how it kind of tapers in? That just ends right there. This is the deluxe trim, which does not taper in, but then goes to this piece that does. So this is the deluxe trim. This is the super trim. So this model is basically like, I call it the core. So this is going to have traits from all the trim levels, including the V. Hood ornament, which I totally forgot about. Does the 55 have a hood ornament? It does, so I'll have to implement that. Yeah, I just had to tweak it a little bit, just so it's different. And that's also what all this is. So these are the base model budget seats, and the base model steering wheel, radio block-off plate, that kind of thing. And these are the super and deluxe standard seats, horn ring, radio, antenna, VA emblems, all that stuff. So this is where I store all the different trim options. So that's why one side is different. And then when I split these off to do the proper trim specific models, then that's that. All right. So yeah, that's that. Hope to see you guys